Morning guys, Casper TSCFIT. Yes, I'm on my way to the gym. Today we're gonna talk about function and purpose. What are the purpose for the muscle and what's its function? What does it actually do? And there's a lot of people out there, all of you pretty much, that think that to activate the back, to isolate the back, you have to bend your elbows, move your arms, and use all these compound muscles to achieve a goal of isolation. And if you look at it, if you move more than one muscle, you are not isolating. It's a compound movement. And every back exercise out there, obviously, is a compound movement. So there's no isolation. TSCFIT is isolation. Let me show you.
Good morning guys, Casper TSCFIT here. Today I'm going to talk about function and purpose. Our lat muscles has a function. And what is its function and what is its purpose? Well, its purpose is to do anything moving the shoulders from the ear down and back to contract it. So anything from here and down is contraction of the lats. So doesn't matter where your arm are, as long as it's above horizontal, then you activate the lat. If it goes below horizontal, now you're activating the back part of your traps and all the way up to the back of your head while you're bringing your shoulders back. So to focus on the lats, we gotta be in a movement that focuses on the lat. Because physics, if I bring my elbow back like a seesaw, one thing has to go back, the other thing has to go up. And anything you pull with the arm is going to bring your shoulder forward. Okay? Physics. So to activate this muscle, this part has to be the control, the active muscle in the movement. So how do I activate the lats and seated row? Let me show you. I'm grabbing it now, it's hanging on my lats. I'm bending my arms, yes, because you can't jump with straight legs. You gotta bend your legs a little bit for mobility, because these are now supporting my back. All the weight is hanging here. I'm not bending this, it's not hanging on my biceps. It's hanging here, as you can see. So, for me to activate the lats, I'm gonna roll my shoulders up to open up my back a little bit like lat spread. Then I'm gonna bring my shoulders down and back. I'm gonna go back, fully extended up to my ears, down and back. And this movement alone is a complete isolation of the lats. Doesn't matter if you do one arm, two arm, whatever. Direction. Anything above horizontal. Thank you. It's lats. Anything below horizontal is not going to be the traps. Because those are the two functions on what you're pulling. Are you pulling upward or are you pulling downward? But it's only those muscles because they're attached to your shoulders. So again, function, purpose. Think about that every time you move. So right now, every movement now in back is a compound movement because you're pulling with your arms, like squat, like your bench press. Okay, all compound, no isolation. This is isolation for the muscle you want to work out. Only move that joint that muscle is attached to, and you're good. If you start moving other muscles, you're losing control, tension, and 100 pounds gets spread out over 5, 6, 7, 8 muscles instead of just hanging on one muscle. That's why when you train TSCFIT, the weight is going to go down, guys. I'm working with 40, 50 pounds max out at 100. After that, I can't move it. So focus on your technique and the form, focus on that one muscle, that's isolation. Anything else is compound, and you're losing the weight. Hey guys, so let me show you how it looks like from the back. As you notice, my arms will bend, but that's because of the direction of the cable. There's no weight hanging here. All my weight is hanging right here where it's supposed to be. This here is support muscles for the active muscle. That's the difference between an active muscle and a support muscle. So the active muscle is the one that drives the weight. Compound movements, all the muscles drives the weight. Isolation is one muscle driving the weight. Simple. So if you want to isolate just your lats, you're going to do what the lats function is. And the only function lats has is from ear down and back to contract. Okay? Very simple. So now I'm going to show you from the back so you can see how it works out. As you can see, down, up. It's fully stretched. And now I'm going to contract it, bringing my shoulders down and back. There. See guys, so just twist them, shoulders up, it opens up the back, then you bring your shoulders down and you contract it and then you pull it back. The minute you start bending your arms, you're losing all the tension and the weight is gone from your back, and now it's a compound movement, and now you're gonna go, oh, I can't feel anything, I'm gonna add the weight. Okay, focus one muscle if you wanna isolate. You wanna do compound, but if you wanna do isolate, then isolate. Don't say you're isolating and use a compound movement. Have a good day.
Hi guys, so you could see on the technique I just did that the function and purpose of a muscle is more important than how it looks or how you think it works and what it's supposed to be doing. Anytime you pull with your elbows, okay, anytime the weight transfers onto your elbows and you pull with them, okay, your shoulders, like a seesaw, automatically has to counter the weight. So the more weight you put on, the more seesaw. The more seesaw, the more secondary tension you get on your lats. We don't want secondary tension that is not isolation. So, because when you do a compound movement, you got one weight on more than one muscle to get to the goal of lifting it. But when you isolate a muscle, then you're moving one muscle, one weight to contract and stretch, contract and stretch, contract and stretch, and you stay there. And now when we talk time under tension, because if there's no relax on the muscle, stretch out the arms and relax, stretch out your legs on squat, stretch out your arms on bench press. The minute you relax a muscle, other muscles takes in. It makes sense now, because if the tension leaves one muscle and goes to another muscle, then there's no more tension. So time under tension is how long you can keep that muscle working until it's failure. That's it. So one muscle, one weight. Have a good day.